Hi, my name is Diane Rudholm. I'm the managing editor at Outdoors Northwest magazine, and we're here at the 26th annual Seattle Bike Expo today, and we're going to walk around and talk with exhibitors about what's new in the cycling community. I'm here talking with John Vander from Seattle Department of Transportation. So I am wondering, since the 2007 Master Bicycle Plan was put into place, have you seen an uptick in bicyclists? And how do you measure that?
I think the best way that we measure that is through ridership. And right now, about 160,000 people in Seattle ride a bike. So that's about a third of the population. So that's a pretty good sized number of people. In the downtown area alone, ridership has increased by about 50% since 2007.
Okay, wow.
Yeah. So it's just seen just a tremendous amount. And we measure that a number of ways. We do annual telephone surveys. We take quarterly counts at about 50 locations throughout the city. And over the last 2 years, we started installing permanent automatic bike counters at about 9 locations throughout the city. So the first one we installed was on the Fremont Bridge, and we did that a little over a year ago. And just in that first year where that counter's been on the bridge, we've seen a 23% increase in ridership. So that's a pretty significant amount.
Nice.
And I think the reason that you see the kind of ridership that you do here is just as reflective of a tremendous amount of work that's taken place since 2007 when the first Bicycle Master Plan was adopted.
Nice.
We now have 80 miles of bike lanes in the city of Seattle, which is 3 times what we had in 2007. We've got 40 miles of off-street paths, of multi-use paths, which is 25% more than we had in 2007, so it's another big leap there. In the last 4 years, we've installed about 4 miles of buffered bike lanes where there's a space between the bike lane and the vehicle travel lane.
Oh, nice.
And we've installed 7.5 miles of neighborhood greenways. And those are local streets with lower volumes of cars, lower speeds, that offer a more family-friendly, a more comfortable place to ride. We've even in that time, since 2007, we've increased the number of bike racks in the city by about 50%. So now, if you want to park your bike in the city of Seattle, you've got almost 8,000 bike parking spaces to choose from. So that's quite a lot.
Yeah, help people feel safe about bringing their bike places.
Absolutely.
Excellent. So then, what are some of the newer updates? There have been some updates to the plan.
Yeah, so the draft Bicycle Master Plan, I think it's looking at council review this year, and I think what you'll really notice from that plan is a much higher quality of facility. So the plan, it really sets a vision for a citywide network that again is much more family friendly, that offers that sense of connectivity, but for people of all ages and abilities. So one of the things that you'll see the most out of that is a lot more protected bike lanes, and those are where people on bikes are in the roadway, but then they're physically separated from traffic. So it's a much more comfortable feel. Likewise, it's a much more robust neighborhood greenway network, and again, those are those local streets with calmed traffic and improvements to help you get across the busier streets as you're riding along. So all told, the plan as it's presented now includes about 100 miles of those protected bike lanes, about 90 miles of traditional bike lanes, another 32 miles of new off-street paths, and over 200 miles of neighborhood greenways. So that's quite a significant amount. And I think the one thing I'd add to that is that one of the reasons that the plan is taking that approach is that there's about 60% of people who they describe themselves as the willing but wary cyclist.
Sure.
So those are people who, they would like to use their bike for normal, everyday transportation.
Maybe nervous.
They're a little nervous. They don't feel comfortable using the streets as they're designed today. And with the plan that's proposed under the update, they're going to have a lot more travel options to choose from.
Excellent. Yeah, that's great. Thank you.
You're welcome.